This morning, former President Trump reacting for the first time to the dozens of felonies he faces. Seething with defiance, Trump rallied his loyal supporters at Mar-a-Lago, calling the charges an insult to the country.
The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it.
The former president, arriving to court via police motorcade, quickly hustled into the courthouse by Secret Service, where he pleaded not guilty to 34 state felony charges that he repeatedly and fraudulently falsified New York business records to conceal criminal conduct that hid damaging information from the voting public during the 2016 presidential election.
A catch and kill scheme. That is a scheme to buy and suppress negative information to help Mr. Trump's chance of winning the election.
A charge of falsifying business records is typically a misdemeanor in New York, but the charge can be upgraded to a felony if it's tied to another crime, such as tax or campaign finance violations.
It's shocking to me that a state prosecutor would try and prosecute something as thin as this and prosecute a violation of federal election laws when they're state prosecutors.
The district attorney's office had looked into this case before, but DA Alvin Bragg saying he's bringing the case now because of new evidence, but he did not elaborate. Trump's legal team calling it political persecution. The court proceedings, a historic first for a sitting or former American president, concluded in just under 1 hour.
He was reserved, he was calm.
Judge Juan Merchan did not place a gag order on the case, but he did advise Trump to refrain from making statements that are likely to incite violence. And Trump is due back inside this Manhattan courthouse December 4th, with the trial expected to begin in January, going on right through the election year. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Taking an in-depth look at what the former president is facing when it comes to these charges. For each of the 34 counts of falsifying business records, the president would face a possibility of up to 4 years in prison if convicted. Now, on each of those counts, according to the Washington Post, the judge could impose 6 consecutive sentences, which means the president would have to serve them one after the other. However, these charges don't carry a mandatory prison sentence. Under New York law, most nonviolent felonies must be charged within 5 years of the alleged misconduct. Legal experts say the statute of limitations clock could be paused under certain circumstances, such as if a defendant were to move out of state.